Hello friends, welcome to my channel Hira Techies. In this video, I am going to explain how to consume .NET Core Web API in MVC applications. So basically we can do two ways. One is client side using jQuery and Ajax call, and the second one is server side. So we can directly call our API from the C# code itself. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to take this client-side approach. So using this client-side approach, we can do the complete redactions. Additionally, I will cover this JWT token handling. So let's start the implementation. First, I'm going to create one brand new application. So the template is MVC. So let me provide the name is MVC CRUD. Okay. And the framework, we can use the .NET 7. So the project is created with the default template. So currently we have one controller, that is home controller. So next I'm going to create one new controller. We can use the empty controller, that is fine. I'm going to provide the name is customer. So similarly, I'm going to create one more controller. So the name is login. Next we can create the respective views. Just right click and add view. So let me choose this racer view. No need to take any template. So let me click this add. Okay, the view is created. So similarly, we can create the view for this customer. So here I'm going to include two more action result. So the default one we can consider for loading the list of customer information. After that, we can create one action result for create, and the next one is edit. So the next thing is we have to create all the views. So the same way, just right click and add view, and the last one is edit. Okay, all the views are created. We can see in this customer side, yeah, there are three views are there. Okay. So next, in the designing perspective, we are going to use the bootstrap. And the functionality point of view, as I mentioned, I'm going to use the client-side technology, so the jQuery is needed. So since we are using this .NET Core MVC templates, this jQuery and Bootstrap are defaultly included from the template itself. Okay. So next we have to start the implementation. Before that, let me show our API. So the API application also in the running mode. See, this is my Swagger. So we are going to use this customer section. Okay. So it's having around 6 methods. We are going to use the first 5 methods. Okay. So the first service is for returning all the customer information, and the second one is for returning the individual customer information based on the code, and the third one is for the create, fourth one is update, and the fifth one is remove. Okay. And this is the security API. So let me try to access this one. So it is returning the 401 error. So we need to pass the authorization token also. So let me take this URL. So in this postman, I'm just added. Anyway, this one also a get method. And here you can see this authorization enabled. And here we need to put our token. And we can generate from our API itself using this generate token. See now, we have the token. Here I'm just replacing, providing our actual token, newly generated one. Okay. So if I clicked, okay, it is returning the list of customer information. So the same way we can access all the methods by using this access token. Okay. And if you want know more details about this .NET Core Web API, just to follow my .NET Core Web API tutorial. So I will add link also in the description. And this application also created from the same video itself. Okay. So next we can focus on the implementation. So let me take this index. We can use some bootstrap classes. So in this card body, I'm going to include the table. We can initiate the header. So the fields are code, name, email, and phone number, and status, and the final one is action. So let me run the application. So we can provide the URL like this. So the static design was there. The next thing is the table body. We have to load dynamically the data available from our API. And also let me include the add button for creating new customer. And our action is create. Also let me include some class. Okay. So let me save this one and we can see the response. Okay, the changes are not reflected. We have to enable the runtime compilation from the application, then only the changes will be reflected automatically. So let me install one package. I'm adding this package. The package name is Microsoft.ASP.NET Core MVC.Racer runtime compilation. We are installing the latest version, okay? So I will add this comment also in the description. Okay, once it is installed, go to the program.cs file, add Racer runtime compilation. Okay, so that is fine. So the next thing is we have to fetch the data from our API. So I'm going to include the script section here. And we can include this jQuery reference also. Basically it is not needed, but sometime we will get some error. So better we can include it. Next in this onload, I'm just calling load customer. Okay, also we need to define this function. So we can use the Ajax. So the first one is type. So this is the get method, okay? And the next one is URL. URL is the same one. Our API URL. There is no data need to pass. Next we can include the content type. Application bar JSON and a character set UTF-8. So similarly data type The data type is JSON, and here we will get the success and failure. We can include the debugger here, okay? And the next thing is we need to pass the authorization token. So initially what I'm going to do, let me make the services the open service. There is no need security is required. So let me command this authorize. Once our normal credential is completed, we can work for the authentication token, okay? Okay, the API is running. The same time, let me run our MEC application also. Okay, application is running. We can use our customer URL. See, it is returning the list of customer information. So that means we are able to consume the data from our API. And the next thing is we have to bind this data in our table. Okay. So for that we can use the data table UI, jQuery data table CDN. So the latest version is 13.6. Okay. So we have to include this CS file and also the JS file. So let me include both in our application. Okay. Next I am declaring one array here. Next we can generate the for loop for this data. Now we can push the values into our array. Okay. So if you want to check the values, okay, code, name, email, phone, and we are going to use this status name also. All are small letters only. And we have the final one is action. So here we have to include the buttons. So initially I'm just providing empty, okay. So once we have the data, using the data table concept, we can bind into our table, okay. So let me provide the ID, table customer, data table. Here the data is our array. So let me save this one. Okay, it is showing one error. So this is actually the conflict from our jQuery. For resolving this one, let me declare like JS. So here also the conflict is caps. Okay. So let me refresh this one. Okay. From the load itself, we are getting the error. See now, the data are binded, and defaultly this pagination and the search functionalities and the sorting also included. See now. For this action, let me include the buttons. So we can generate that also in the dynamic manner. So let me include it here. See now, the edit button is coming. Okay, see now, the remove button also coming, right? So next we can focus on the create new record. So currently we don't have any design, and this is the HTML page. We can copy this content. So the title is create customer, and this button is not needed. Even this table also. So here we can have the form group. So the first field is code, and the ID is text code. Let me see now. Okay. So it is taking the full page. If needed, we can reduce that. And also this menu and this footer also not needed. So let me remove everything from our layout page itself. Okay. And let me reduce the size by adding some custom CSS. See now. Okay, now it is somewhat fine. Okay. So the same way I'm going to include the other controls. So the second field is name. Next email. Then phone number. And then credit limit. And the final one is active checkbox. And the class also we can provide form check. For the checkbox we can provide defaultly it is checked. Now see the response. Okay. And let me include one button. After this card body we can include the card footer. Okay. So this is more than fine. And here I'm going to include this click event. And we need to define this function. I'm just copying this jQuery file. Added it here. So similarly this script area, okay, we can replace based on our requirement. I just removed. So instead of the load customer we can use this save customer. And in this Ajax call area, so initially I just commented this area. So next from this function I'm trying to get the values from these controls. First accessing all the elements one by one. And changing the respective IDs. Next I'm getting the values. And the final one is checkbox. So we need to check whether it is checked or not. Okay. And the next thing is we can include the validation for this code and the name. So let me make this all the mandatory field. So the same way I'm going to apply for the name. If it is fine, we are going to make our Ajax call. We can try now. See, I am not entered any value. So it is in the red color. Okay. So the validation is fine. So before calling our API, we have to prepare one object. So next one is credit limit. So anyway, let me check it here. It should be credit limit. And this credit limit field is the integer one. So we can check if there is no data. So now we have the object. Next we can work for the Ajax area. So the method type is post. Next we need our URL, customer/create. Okay. So these areas are fine. Here I am going to include this debugger. But the very important thing is we need to pass the data. So already we have this object json.stringify. So we done our changes. Let me verify. Okay, once our create is completed, we can easily complete the next functionalities because most of the codes we can reuse. Okay, so let me provide 010 some phone number. Okay, once I'm saved, I got the positive response only. There is no error message. So then this is the success scenario only. Okay, so let me just continue. So if I'm going to the listing also, see, so the newly created record was there. So actually once my save functionality is completed, if response code is 201, we can redirect to our listing page. Else we can just to provide a alert failed to save. And here also we can provide one JavaScript alert. Customer. So let me try once again. Saved successfully, and also it is redirected to our listing page. Okay, we not provided the mobile number, so it's not coming. So next we can focus on the edit. So currently I'm not defined the function. So in our index screen itself, be generated as in the dynamic manner, right? Okay, we are passing just this. So that means whatever control we are clicking, we are able to access the control. And our thing is we need to fetch this unique value code. So what I'm going to do, let me include one hidden field. It's here. So let me generate that also dynamically. HDM. Okay, I'm just added it here. I have to move these all the codes inside the loop. Okay, now this is fine. If I'm showing, see, we have one hidden field, after that our edit button and then remove button. So it is generated in the dynamic manner. So now I am trying to access this hidden field. Obviously I can get the value. Let me include one ID also. Okay, now it's much better. See now, I'm able to get the ID, right? So I'm going to redirect this into our edit page. Customer/edit, and we can pass this code. Okay, Next, from the controller, I'm going to include this one. So whatever data is coming, I am just including in the view data. Okay. Next, in our edit CS HTML, whatever code available in the create side, we can just copy everything and put in the edit side. So this is the edit screen, I mean the edit customer, and here the code is disabled on. And we can bind the value because the value is available in the view data. Okay, so we can run and verify. So if I'm clicking this edit button, it is redirected. In this code, it's binded, right? So what we can do in this initial page load itself, we can get the same value. Then we have to pass this code into getByCode API method. Once we got the individual customer information, we can bind in the controls. Okay. So here we can include this conflict also not needed. If it is not equal to empty, not equal to null, we can call our API. So that also a get method. So let me copy this sample code. So get method, we need to change the URL. Okay. So this is the URL. But this code we have to provide in the dynamic way. So it will return the object. So once we have the data, we can bind in our controls. Okay. So let me take all the controls here. So here the code is not needed. Name. For the same way, we can include the email and then this phone, then this credit limit. And the final one is checkbox. So in this credit limit, we have to provide this exact value, otherwise we will get the error. Similarly, in this checkbox, we can set the property checked as. Okay. So let me refresh the screen. So it is binded all the data. Okay. So here we can include on back button also. So in case if you want redirect to the listing. I think syntax issue. Okay, look like we need to mention the action also. So now we are in the listing page. So once I clicked, it is in the edit page. If I'm clicking, again it is back to our customer listing. Okay, now we loaded the existing data. Next we can work for the update function, okay? So that actually we can finish very quickly because already we have this save customer function. We are assigning all the data. There is one small change. We need to change this URL. So if you are going to the API, this should be update. Okay. Also we need to pass the code. So code we can get it from here. And other objects are fine. This is the put method. Okay. Saved successfully and other things are same. So let me refresh it. I'm changing this credit limit into 10. Okay, I'm getting some error. Okay. So the URL is the problem. I'm just refreshing once again. Changing this into 10. Once I click to save. Oh, failed to save. So the status code I'm received as the 200. But actually I checked as 201. Maybe that is the reason. Let me put the debugger here. Just to refresh, see the record is already updated. So we can provide tool. Okay, the response code I'm getting the 200. So that's what it is returning as the failed to save. So that's okay. So now just changing this email. Once I'm saved successfully and it is redirected to our listing. See, this is updated. So similarly this string, see, so the values are updated fine. So now we have completed this create and also update, loading the listing. So the final one is remove. Okay, so let me focus on that. First I'm creating one function similar to this function edit. We have this function remove, and here I will get the code also, and then I'm just checking, do you want to remove? If it is confirmed, we can call one more function. So here we can pass this code. Okay, so also defining this function here. So here I'm getting this code. We can copy this Ajax call section. I just added it here. So the first one is type delete. and then this URL, it is remove. So this data is not needed. I am expecting 200 as the response. Anyway, let's see. Once I'm clicked, I am getting this confirmation. So removed successfully. And also it is simply refreshed our page. Okay. So now we successfully completed our CRUD actions by using the .NET Core Web API. Okay. So next what I'm going to do, so let me make this API as the secured one. So hereafter we have to pass the secured JWT token. Otherwise we are unable to access the API functions. Okay. So let me show you. Okay, our API is ready. If I'm refreshing the screen, nothing is loaded. If you are checking in this network, you will get this get all method. It is returning unauthorized error. Okay. So in this API point of view, we have one function for generating the token. So basically it is expecting username and password. So it's our credential only. So based on that, it will validate and generate the token. So let me implement the login page. So this one also I'm not going to take much time. We can reuse some of the codes. So whatever code available in this create page, I'm just copying and including in our login. Okay. We can say this is the user login. And the first one is username. And the second one is password. We can give this is the type also password. And other fields are not needed. Text username and this password. Again here also other things are not needed. And we can reuse the same validation also. One is username. Password. And the request type is post only. Okay. This is our URL. So here I am going to include the debugger. So expected thing is we will get the token. So I can check like if data not equal to null. So whatever token we are receiving, I am going to include in the local storage itself. So basically we can store in the session Since we are doing everything from the client side, I am going to use the local storage. Okay. Once it is assigned, we can redirect into our customer page. See now. So let me provide my valid credential. So it is redirected into our customer, and in this local storage, yeah, the token is included. Maybe if I'm removing everything, let me go to the login page once again. Okay, it is included token. So next we can access the same token from our customer page. First in this initial load function, once we have this token, after this you can say headers, and this is the authorization header, and our token is behavior. I mean the type is behavior type. Then we have to pass this token. So now let me refresh it. So let me try to log in once again. Okay, this is authorization spelling mistake. Okay. So let me log in once again. See, the initial data is loaded fine. But at the same time, if you are trying to remove, it won't work. So the reason is we just pass this authorization getter for this load function only. So make sure we have to include all the areas. Okay. So meanwhile, we can include for the create and edit area also. So in this create, we have to use in this save function. In this edit, we have to use in the save. Also this get all function. We can copy this header also. First in this create included. So next in this edit. So let me try to log in once again. Okay. So the listing is loaded. I'm going to create one new record. Saved successfully. And we can see the new record added it here. I'm trying to edit this one. So in this edit page, the record is loaded. I'm going to provide Ravi Kumar email. So again, I'm trying to save. It is updated successfully. We can see the records here. So finally, I'm going to remove the record. So removed successfully, and also it's refreshed. So now we are in the end of the video. Still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment box, and also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So the same activity we can do from the server side also. For handling all the events, we can use the razor controls in order to we can achieve. The same way for the AP calling also we can do the C# side. Maybe I will cover in the separate video. If it is needed, please let me know in the comment. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.